Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm at work. It's Marie, break room, just sitting down, got some stuff done, and I wanted to do this documenting for day 12. Day 12 of my quitting smoking journey. The reason I'm documenting day 12, it seems we are turning a corner, and I want to document this in case it helps anybody, or, and maybe encourages someone to try. Okay? So for the first week, I started on a Sunday, a week ago this past Sunday, March 7th. By the end of the week, it had been, a little bit of a challenge. I wear a patch because, I need a patch. But it was not a challenge, I thought, well, the first 72 hours, that's what I kept saying. I can make it through the first 72 hours. I've got this licked. Well, that was a joke. The first 72 hours were a piece of cake. It was the Saturday after. It was day 7 and 8. They hit me like a freight train. Didn't see it coming, and had to kind of wade that out. And I, in my mind, it's like wading through water. Well, here's the thing. And I'm equating it back to the eating disorder that I am trying so hard not to fall back into. I have lost some weight, which is incredible considering who I am and the fact that I'm not smoking. Just in the realest terms, it's when the eating disorder, when I decided 20-something years ago that I was way too heavy and way too unhappy, something happened in my brain and I just didn't want to eat anymore. And so for, a couple weeks, everything was fine. I was good. And it's like your body kind of goes, well, okay, this is temporary. We're doing something new. We'll just kind of ride it out. Right before the 2-week mark, your body goes into panic mode because it realizes it's not getting that food anymore. Your body starts to eat itself. Well, in the year 2000, I weighed 284 pounds. And I figured I could live for a while, right? Didn't know what was going to happen. And just, had no idea. Quitting smoking is very similar in this respect. You are detoxing from not just nicotine. There's other shit in those cigarettes, which I always knew. But you smoke anyway. So you're detoxing from the nicotine, you're detoxing from the physical act of smoking, and whatever else is in the damn cigarettes. And for the first week, your body's like, well, okay, the patch it's a pacifier, suck your thumb, whatever. By day 7, my body realized it wasn't getting any more cigarettes. And it went into panic mode, and I slammed into a wall. And when I say slammed, I'm not just talking about like the whole first week was kind of cool because I had all this adrenaline and I was, ready to go, right attitude, But what I was noticing was I wasn't as focused. My focus was fuzzy. I had to say things out loud. I made a lot more post-it notes, at work. I'd find myself driving and wonder if the light was green, which I think happens to everybody once in a while, but my thought processes were different. And I felt a little surreal most of the time, the first 5 or 6 days. And then I hit the wall, thankfully on a weekend, and wanted to just sleep. I did have some time with the grandbabies and all of that. It was great, but I was just so tired. And my hip pain dialed up. I operate at a 7 out of 10, 10 being the worst, on a regular basis as daily. It's 6 to 7 all the time. And it dialed up to around 14. And by Monday, it was, Sunday, I was having trouble walking. I took Tylenol. And so by Monday, if I hadn't had somebody out on vacation, I would have been home with my feet up. I had both of my feet to swell up on me at the end of last week. Like during the day and sitting in the office chair. I was getting up as much as I possibly could all the time, walk around. Wasn't helping. My feet swelled up. That's uncomfortable and scary. So I'd have been at home Monday. This is Thursday the 18th. Monday of this week, I would have been at home with my feet up because my leg hurt so bad. I had to be here. So I took a Tylenol, which I don't normally do, and came on to work. I found that the smoking part of it was less difficult than dealing with the pain, which maybe is God's way of saying, Maria, I know you have your weaknesses. Here we go. Have some pain. You won't concentrate on this. I don't know. I find that this morning I woke up clear for the very first time since I quit smoking. Same thought patterns. Felt like me. I mean, I didn't sleep any better. I'm still not sleeping well because of the pain. But I woke up feeling more like me, more focused. And I hadn't done a video for the YouTube for you guys in a while because I was just kind of muddling through. So this morning's not perfect. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know a lot of people have quit smoking, and I'm not trying to be a whiner. I'm telling you, this is what's going on with me. The chemical detox doesn't just stop with your brain fog. It goes on to affect, I have a raspy voice. I've been trying to sing. I'm having trouble singing, and I'm a singer. I don't know what that's about. It affects your digestive patterns and the things that your body does every day. It affects your eating habits. I mean, I kind of stick to a regimen, and I've had to adjust the regimen, partially to avoid, eating disorder problems, and partially to keep my blood sugar in line. I use like celery, Twizzlers, jelly beans, whatever, if I have the nosh, for the cigarette. But there's been so much I've had to adjust that I wasn't prepared for. I mean, I knew I was going to be like getting off cigarettes, but I didn't think about it in terms of the chemical dependency. I never thought of myself as chemically dependent. Nobody wants to think of themselves as chemically dependent. I have a drink sometimes when I get home from work, pretty much every day. Probably need to ditch that too, but we're not going to talk about that today. Let me get through one thing. This is something I want to do for me, not just the benefits of not having, I was a smoker who didn't like the smell of smoke. I mean, go figure why I didn't quit before now. Right? And the days that I really, really want a cigarette, or the times of the day, it's usually at night. And I stop and I just think about, I did the math. Ever done the math on what you spend on your cigarettes, or if it's for you, alcohol, whatever? Do the math. What do you spend a week? Times that by 4. What could you do with that back in your budget? If nothing else motivates you, that should. So the times when I really, 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 really want a cigarette, I really, really, really remember that number. And then I just don't want the cigarette anymore. So that's where I'm at. But it feels like it's kind of feels like a corner being turned here. I feel more in control than I have in the past week. So that's great. Just kind of been riding the wave. And today I feel more like myself. A little bit hyper this morning. I've already, I've already gotten some work done. On cup of coffee number 2. So hopefully this is it. I mean, what I really should have said was I need to give it a full month to make sure, that I'm good. And so hopefully in the next couple days I'll finish the second week. Maybe I can step the patch down. I would really like to just skip the other patches and not have to have them, but we'll see. Patches are about 1/10 of the cost of cigarettes. So if you're trying to quit or you're thinking about quitting, think about the benefits, because if you focus on what you're giving up, same principle as dieting, same principle as anything else you're trying to give up, right? If you focus on what you're giving up, you're never going to give it up. If you go into it with a mindset of being deprived of something, you're always going to feel deprived. And you're never going to give it up. You have to go into it with a mindset of, what am I gaining? What am I going for? What do I want? And I know what I want. And one of the things I wanted was to be a non-smoker. And now I am. I don't identify as a non-smoker. I am a non-smoker. And it's a battle I'm fighting. Just like with the eating disorder, I fight it every day. And I'm winning. And that's the important thing, right? So you focus on what you're gaining. And not just the money that I'm not spending. I'm gaining deeper breaths. I'm gaining hopefully days to my life. I'm gaining better smelling clothes, and I don't have to stop and plan. Do I need to stop and buy cigarettes? I mean, it's amazing what happens when you actually walk away from something. And this is only the second time in my life I've walked away from something that was really, really difficult. And this time I'm doing it better. So that's my documentation for today. I'm not even going to call it a struggle anymore. I don't think that's fair. I think it's a journey now. And it was a struggle up until today. Right? Oh, my hand is shaking. It means the video is too long. Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't been to New Way, please check out some other videos. I am a member of Entre Institute. I have a 90-day challenge, a whole section of videos there you can check out on some pretty good topics. And no, my channel is not about quitting smoking. We're about becoming our best selves, and how I'm doing that, I'm sharing with you in case maybe something you might want to do. Hit subscribe, click the little bell. It'll tell you when I post a video. And if you're one of my Entre buddies, my Entre friends, thank you for the support. I love you guys. Keep knocking it out. If you're interested in what Entre is, I'm just going to be a total tease and tell you to look in the links below. All right. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll hopefully see you in the next 3 or 4 days, and we'll document the corner. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.